Blue Sox baseball is back. Live from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, this is the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. And tonight's matchup, the 6-9 Utica Blue Sox host the 4-9 Boonville Lumberjacks. Good evening, everybody, and a happy Father's Day to all. And thank you so much for watching today. Alongside Killian Heffron, I'm Morgan Spriggs. The Blue Sox lost last night at Mohawk Valley by a score of 7-1, snapping their mini two-game win streak. Now, Killian, that loss for the Blue Sox after a couple encouraging victories, is that an aberration or a sign of things to come?
Well, Morgan, I think it could be interpreted as a bit of both. We've seen Utica this year have issues where they've gone on multi-game losing streaks, and it shows that that part of them is still in there. Now, at the same time, like you said, they won 2 straight beforehand, so it could also be a sign of growing pains. I think it might be a little too early to call to see what that loss means in the grand scheme of how things are going for their season this year. But we know this Utica team, and we know how resilient they've looked over the last week or so. I think they bounce back today.
The Blue Sox pitching staff has been much improved this week, and that has resulted in some more wins. On Tuesday, they run-ruled Mohawk Valley and only allowed 1 run in 7 innings. And then on Thursday against Oneonta, the Blue Sox won 4-2, allowing, again, a small amount of runs. But the Blue Sox gave up 7 runs to Mohawk Valley last night. What is your take, Killian, on the state of the pitching staff?
Well, we've seen a few different versions of this pitching staff this year. We saw how they were early in the year where they weren't giving up too many runs, but they also weren't really winning games. And then we had that stretch of 3 or 4 games where they gave up 12, 14, 16 runs in 3 consecutive games. But since then, they've toned that down a bit, and they're starting to allow lower run totals. And I think Utica is getting a lot more consistent. Now, the consistency isn't quite there yet. Like you said, they just gave up 7 runs to a Mohawk Valley team that honestly has a pretty good offense this year compared to what we've seen in the rest of the league. But I think for Utica, while they have inconsistency in the pitching core, it certainly could get weaved out here as we get later on to the season, and I think they're doing a great job at doing that so far.
This is the second meeting for the Boonville Lumberjacks at Donovan Stadium in this 2026 season. The first time these two met at this ballpark, Boonville picked up their first win of the season. This is revenge for Utica as they try and take down a Boonville squad at the bottom of the division.
Well, I think for Utica today, the way that they get ahead of Boonville early is by jumping on them in the early innings. If you don't let Boonville get on the scoreboard and you build up a 5, 6, 7 run lead, I think for Utica, their offense is good enough to the point where they can maintain that lead for the rest of the game. Now, Boonville, we've seen them this year. They're not the greatest team in comeback situations, but they certainly have that prospect. And with their 4-9 record, you can imagine that they're going to be desperate to find any way to not have to come back in a game, because when the pressure's on you, it's a lot harder to put up runs. So for Utica, the key message into this game is get on Boonville early. Don't let them into this game and close them out, and potentially even get a run mercy rule if they're really feeling adventurous.
Well, the Blue Sox right now are 5th in the Eastern Division. Right now, the top 3 in the division, really the top of the tier in the division, is Saugerties, Amsterdam, and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. And the Blue Sox are currently fighting for that 4th spot. What's your take on the Eastern Division, Killian?
Well, like you said, we have those 3 established contenders. At the very top, you have Amsterdam, who is just an absolute wagon right now. 8 straight wins is really hard to do in a division where you only play 6 different teams throughout the year. So it's showing that Amsterdam is probably by far the best team that the division has to offer. Under them, you have Mohawk Valley, who led the division for a while, but they've started to slip a bit recently. But nevertheless, they're still boasting an incredible pitching and hitting core. They should be fine throughout the course of the year. They seem like an established contender at this point in the season. And then last but not least, you have Mohawk Valley. And Mohawk Valley, you have Saugerties, right. And Saugerties has been one of the more interesting teams. They started off a little slow. They've gotten a lot better since then, and they're always a contender in this league. You can never count them out. I think Saugerties is going to have a great end of the year, and that's really your top 3. But then under that, you have teams like Utica, Glens Falls, Oneonta all come to mind, all battling for that 4th playoff spot. Now Boonville, they're behind them. Boonville currently in last place in the East Division. A win today for the Lumberjacks would kind of jump them back into that race with just how tight it is. And I think it's going to be a long end of the season for these teams as they try to claw at one another to get into that final playoff spot and have the chance to face one of those top 3 in the first round.
The division is so cluttered, so there can be a lot of movement up at the top and down at the bottom throughout the rest of the season. And finally, on this early Sunday evening, the weather report for Killian.
Well, the wind has certainly calmed down, still blowing a little bit in here, but throughout the course of this game, that should continue to lower. We are going to see, obviously, the clouds start to move out of the region. Temperatures currently mid-70s. Those should dip down to the high 60s by the end of this game. And we had some thunderstorms exploding throughout the region earlier. I mean, actually, if I look off to our north and west right now, or excuse me, our north and east, you can still see them, but they're moving out of the region. I don't see any way that this game gets delayed tonight, and this should be a beautiful night for baseball here at Murnane Field.
Well, today is the summer solstice, meaning we have the most sunlight today of any day in the calendar year. So it's really going to feel like a day game, but it is Sunday night. And it's the Blue Sox and the Lumberjacks will have first pitch and the lineups coming up.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and kindly remove your hats as we honor America and the brave men and women who protect this country at home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem. Here to perform tonight, please welcome Kira Griffiths.
We're back here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, and first we take a look at the Blue Sox starting pitcher. It is Jordan Ake. What do you have, Killian?
Well, Ake coming into this game with a 10.8 ERA on the season, only one credited loss in 2 appearances, and he has 5 innings pitched total on the year, has allowed 9 hits and 7 runs, 6 of them being earned runs, with only 1 walk given out and 6 strikeouts. However, his whip sitting at 2, so he certainly gives up a lot of base runners between walks and hits. So Utica's going to have to watch that today for him to get that under control and not let too many people on base in this game.
Now let's take a look at the Boonville starting lineup. Leading off is Wyatt Lassiter, followed by Zeb Swingham. Masai Marshall, the DH, bats third. Michael Clarkson is in the cleanup spot. Argenis R.J. Lopez, the first baseman, bats fifth, followed by Marcus Smith, batting sixth. Then it's Bronx Lewis, batting seventh. Noah Reed's in left field, he bats eighth. Devon Abaga bats ninth. And Oliver Lawrence bats 10th. So the Lumberjacks going toe-to-toe with the Blue Sox today with 10 batters. A beautiful day here in Utica, New York. It feels like a day game, even though it is 5 o'clock, which you can kind of constitute whether it's a day game or night game depending on your preference, but I think it's still a night game. But it is earlier, a start time today because of it happening on a Sunday.
Well, the crowd tonight is actually pretty big for the Blue Sox. It's still lined up out the door for people trying to get in and get tickets. So one of the best turnouts we've seen on the year, and really nice to have all the fans coming out to enjoy Blue Sox baseball as Utica looks to continue to climb the ranks here in the race for this 4th playoff spot.
There's a lot of fathers here with their sons, daughters, children, families enjoying the game today. Of course, have to shout out my dad and my grandfather as well for being just awesome dads.
I'll shout mine out as well. He drove me down here for the game today.
Wonderful. We all love our dads, and we hope that we're gonna watch a good ball game today between the Lumberjacks and the Blue Sox, that Jordan Ake throwing his final warm-up pitches. The Blue Sox and Lumberjacks have the same amount of losses, 9, but Utica with 2 more games played and 2 more wins, 6-4. And we're about to get underway with Wyatt Lassiter leading off for the Lumberjacks. And Lassiter is fitting to be in the leadoff spot today because he has a .357 batting average, the most hits of any Lumberjack, and the most doubles of any player for Boonville with 4 two-base hits. Only 2 RBI for him, but he's really good at getting on base. And he's played in every game bar 1 this season for the visitors today. Jordan Ake is ready in his motion. First pitch is strike 1 on a fastball off the corner, and we're underway.
This game starts perfectly on time today. 5:15 first pitch. Usually the Blue Sox games this year have gone just about 3 hours.
Outside for a ball on that heat from Jordan Ake, with the infield playing back. And even if this game takes around 3 hours, we could still see some sun out in the summer solstice. 1-1 is another fastball, and that's up high, 2-1. So it's going to feel like a day game because June 21st has the most sunlight of any day on the calendar. 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Lassiter went for the whole thing to crush it out of the ballpark, but came up empty. 2-2 now.
Yeah, that was a pitch that looked upstairs, too. It looked like it was going to be out of the zone, and he just kind of went for all that.
2-2 pitch is just outside for ball 3. That was a close pitch on the corner.
But Ake's gone with a very fastball-heavy attack here early on in this first at-bat. Let's see how he continues to evolve that use today.
3-2 is swung on and chopped towards shortstop. Peritano makes the throw over. A nice stretch by Jacobs for out number 1. And now let's take a look at the Blue Sox defense. Wirtz is catching for Ake with Jacobs at first base, Fry at second base, Peritano at short, and Fernsler at third. Tomei is in left field, Connor Jones is in center, and Robbie Carvelli in right. Seems like the starting positions on the diamond for Doug Dillette have kind of solidified into a few different players maintaining their roles on a night-to-night basis. Here's Zeb Swingham now, the shortstop. Takes the first pitch ball in, 1-0.
And it feels like we're getting to that point in the year, though, that every team kind of starts to settle in, and the experimentation phase is kind of over, and everyone knows what works, what doesn't.
1-0 fastball misses the zone high, and first two-ball count of the game for Ake.
And for Utica, their go-to kind of rotation of people has been honestly pretty effective over the last week and a half. Trying to build on that today.
It is strike one. Going with the heat on the lower edge. Zeb Swingham right now trying to raise that batting average. It's at 148 right now. 5 runs scored on 4 hits. A 2-1 pitch catches the edge for strike 2. See if the fans can get free Taco Bell with the Taco Bell K-Man, Zeb Swingham. And if he strikes out, we got free taco vouchers for everybody. Ake wants to deliver that, and he gets him! Swing and a miss! And there's 2 down as Swingham goes down.
Well, Morgan, we said this last time. I think this is going to officially take the record for earliest free taco vouchers given out this season. I mean, second batter of the game, and the fans already go home with free tacos in this very large crowd here tonight at Renane Field.
Here comes Masai Marshall, one of the best hitters for Boonville. 10 total bases for him and a .333 batting average. First pitch from Ake is in there for a strike. Nice frame for Wirtz, snapping that glove up to make sure it was called strike 1. Bases empty, 2 out in the top of the first.
Well, Ake's demonstrated great poise and a great ability to stay in these at-bats here in the top of the first.
The 0-1 pitch drops in the dirt, looking for a chase, didn't come, and the count evens up 1-1.
But like against Swingham, where he fell behind 3-0 pretty early, he was able to get back and throw 3 consecutive strikes. Just nobody's been able to touch his stuff so far here in this game.
Swing and a miss on the fastball away. It's 1-2. Marshall trying to get on base here and up that .412 OBP. Infield playing back, it has been the entire top of the first. Here comes a 1-2 from Ake. Swatted to the right side and fouled. Stays 1-2. A lot of dads and their families coming into the ballpark today. Just a gorgeous late afternoon, early evening at Donovan Stadium for a little PGCBL baseball. Another 1-2 pitch on the way from Ake. Is just outside, a little groan from the fans looking for that to be a strike, but it's now 2-2.
And Ake's continuing to use that fastball. It's been the vast majority of his pitches so far in the top of the first, and nobody's really been able to get much contact off it besides a couple fouls on that ground out.
In the air, shallow right field. Carvelli comes in, and the ball gets in his mitt for out number 3. We're through 1/2 of an inning. Mohawk make that Boonville goes in order, and the top of the frame will go to the bottom of the first. Blue Sox batting. We are back here for the bottom of the first, and the Lumberjack starting pitcher is Garrett Albright. What do you have on Garrett, Killian?
Well, Garrett on the year for Boonville has been one of their more go-to guys. Is coming in with 6.2 innings pitched, 2 losses, but his ERA has been a struggle. An 18.9 ERA, which is probably the highest that any of the Blue Sox have seen this year as a pitcher they're facing. 15 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts, but a 4.35 whip is particularly concerning for him as he's averaging a lot of runners on base per inning, so he's going to have to keep that number down today against the Blue Sox team that likes to steal.
And taking a look at the Utica lineup, Jack Sweeney leads off the extra hitter. Then it is Caden Fry, the second baseman, to follow. He bats second. Then it is Xavier Smith batting third, followed by Ian Wirtz in the cleanup role. Anthony Paratano bats fifth, followed by Connor Jones, Robbie Carvelli. Bowden Fernsler bats eighth. RJ Tomei in the 9th spot, and Alex Jacobs rounds it out. Jack Sweeney, in his last home game, clubbed 2 home runs. He's now in the top 5 in home runs hit by one player in all of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League this season. Albright's first pitch, can't find the zone, ball 1 high.
And you talk about those homers, one of them was to dead center. It was an absolute missile.
We haven't seen that all season long. It's so hard to hit it out there at 390. 1-0 is upstairs as well from Albright, who's trying to improve his numbers and work a clean first inning. But the first 2 pitches have gone in favor of the extra hitter, Sweeney. Infield back for the Lumberjacks on this 2-0. Softly hit foul right into the batter's box, and Sweeney may have gotten nicked on his shin and has to walk it off. 2-1.
This lineup a bit unusual for the Blue Sox. It's usually Michael Flashner leading off of his speed in this leadoff spot, but he's not in the lineup today on a rest. So Sweeney gets the nod to be the leadoff man and try to put a couple runners on base where Fry and Smith can try to drive him home.
Well, I think Jack has earned his leadoff spot given his 2 home run game against the Outlaws. Albright delivers. Breaking ball. Catches his own. Strike 2. 2-2 now.
That was a great pitch there by Albright. Just got that one to hold perfectly on that inside corner of the zone. Throws up Sweeney.
2-2 now. Garrett in his motion delivers. The pitch is fought off and popped up. Lawrence, the catcher, lets go of the mask and hauls in out number 1. Now let's take a look at the defense for the visitors today. Boonville with Lawrence catching for Albright. Lopez is at first. Abaga plays second. Swangum is at shortstop. And Smith is at third base. In the outfield left to right, it is Reed, Lewis, and Lassiter. Caden Fry with a strong contingent of fans here today. A lot of his family coming in. Caden bats second here and takes strike 1 from Albright.
And the wind's slowly starting to pick up again here. It's calmed down for a while, but now we'll see if Fry can use it to his advantage.
Way outside into the mid of Lawrence, who had to twist away to haul in ball number 1. And so the count levels now in the second batter at the bottom of the first. Albright ready, he delivers. Slowly chopped and foul, and that makes both batters for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the first, but they foul one off themselves. Just one of those pitches in on the hands that couldn't be guided fair. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Albright throws upstairs. 2-2.
And with Smith coming up after Fry, you imagine if Fry's able to get on base, Utica's going to have a good amount of confidence in Smith to drive him further along the base paths.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Fry chases on the breaking ball away. Lawrence applies the tag, and there's 2 away for the X-Man, Xavier Smith. So both pitchers trying to go 1-2-3 in their first innings after Ake cruised through the Boonville top 3. Albright attempting to do the same after the strikeout of Fry. First pitch to the X-Man, dips away, ball one. A great crowd on hand, and it's still filing in right now. A lot of families today, because Father's Day and the first day of summer is a great day for family and enjoying a game. Strike number one, low on the zone.
I'd like to get a radar reading of how fast that last pitch was. That was a hard pitch there from Albright.
Albright's impressed in this first inning. His stats aren't really showing the kind of performance he's had so far. Just 2 batters in. Ground ball, hit over to third. Smith scoops it up, guns it over to first. Just got him in time by a couple of steps for out number 3. Both pitchers retired. There are 3 batters in order. We go to the second inning, no score. On this gorgeous Sunday, we enter the second inning with Jordan Ake on the mound after he retired the first 3 batters. Last hitter, Swangham to Marshall in order with 1 strikeout. It'll be the extra hitter, Michael Clarkson, to lead off for Boonville in the 4th. And Killian, some of these games with the Blue Sox, especially against Boonville on the season, have been really high scoring, but the first inning was a pitcher's duel.
Well, you kind of have to wonder how long that will last with just looking at the stat lines of both of these pitching staffs on the year. But I'm sure Utica would be more than happy to get into a pitcher's duel with Boonville, as Boonville's offense tends to struggle in these types of games.
Jordan Ake facing Michael Clarkson, and the first pitch of the second inning is swatted off and foul to the right of the mound. Michael Clarkson, 300 batting average for him. Strong hitter for the Lumberjacks, and they can produce runs. That's for sure. On an 0-1, that's waved out and missed on the curveball, dropping low. And 2 strikes, the count, on the 4th hitter for the Lumberjacks. Infield back. Ake ready. Looking for his second strikeout. Can he get it here? Yes, he can. That's a cut and a miss for Clarkson, and down he goes, 1 away in the second.
Well, Ake is continuing to show great control on his pitches there, just kind of making Clarkson almost look silly, just waving at a couple of those pitches, as now he comes up and faces Lopez.
Here comes Argenis. Lopez goes by RJ. We'll call him RJ for the game. 367 batting average, 8 hits, 7 runs with a double. Just a solid, steady hitter in the middle of the Lumberjack lineup. And the first pitch to him from Jordan Ake is in there for a strike. Painted that fastball on the high shelf. Oh, 1 now. Swing and a miss, and Ake has started the first 2 batters of his second inning in 0-2 counts.
I would not be surprised to see Ake go back to either that curveball or the fastball in the situation. He's gotten great results with both.
He throws it outside and gets a cut and a miss. For strike 3, back-to-back Ks to open up Ake's second inning. He's making the Lumberjacks look silly.
But that was a great display of control once again. I mean, the placement on his pitches so far has been absolutely superb. Getting people to chase, getting people to miss. He's just done absolutely incredibly so far here in the top of the second.
First pitch to Marcus Smith is high for a ball. That's the first ball thrown by Ake this inning. His first 6 were all strikes. So Jordan Ake is looking really comfortable on the mound. It hasn't been a consistent feeling this season, though he's had some great flashes. Hammered into right center field. A long run for Jones. Him and Carvelli look up, and it's out of here. A home run for Marcus Smith.
Well, you talk about a swing to change how things were looking right there. I mean, that is exactly what you're talking about. And it looked like it was just complete domination from Ake up until that point, and then Smith sees the pitch he likes, gets it to hang over the plate, and just absolutely crushes it into right center. That one going near the scoreboard, between the scoreboard and the light post out there.
That ball was sent into orbit. Home run for Marcus Smith. Now he's Brox Lewis with 2 away. There's the ball low. So Jordan Ake, just talking about how comfortable he was on the mound, retiring the first 5 batters of the game with limited issues, and then just throws the wrong pitch to Smith, and Marcus took advantage. Fly ball tailing into left field. Fernsler, with a long run, gallops towards the bullpen, and that ball drops out of his reach. So Ake, you can clearly see the great stuff, throwing that breaking stuff away into the other batter's box. Got a couple chases this inning from Clarkson and Lopez, but that fastball over the middle was crushed by the 6-hitter Smith. So nobody on, 2 out, and a 1-0 game. That pitch is popped up into shallow left field. Tomei races to his left and secures out number 3. But the Lumberjacks make a statement in the top of the second on a home run by Marcus Smith. They lead 1-0. We return for the bottom of the second. Lumberjacks lead the Blue Sox 1-0 on a 2-out home run by Marcus Smith. And Killian, by your estimation, how far was that ball hit?
Well, that one was probably hit at least to the 390 point. 390 is dead center. That one was hit in the right center.
Maybe over 400?
I would say that didn't get over 400, but that one was over the fence in right center by about 10 feet or so, judging by my visual estimation. So probably somewhere around the 390, 395 mark. Wouldn't be surprised though if that one got to 400.
Ian Wirtz leads off against Albright in the bottom of the second and takes a first pitch curveball. 1-0.
I will say this, if we were playing at Coors Field in Denver, that one would have absolutely been over 400 with how high the elevation is out there.
It's now 2-0 and a couple of fastballs away. Well, the elevation here in Utica, New York, a little different than Denver, Colorado, that's for sure. But that ball hit by Smith certainly got elevated quite a bit. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Snapped in there for a strike, and Albright gets back in the count. Blue Sox coming off a 7-1 loss to the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. It's now 3-1. A lot of crowd noise going on right now. Some motorcycles going by, adding to the festivities. And Wirtz trying to take the ball forward and get on base. Can he do it here? Instead, he has something better to do. He plops one into left center field for a base hit, so forget about the walk. He makes contact on a flare into the shallow outfield. So Ian Wirtz with a leadoff single for the Sox in the second.
Now batting from San Diego, California, the shortstop, number 2, Anthony Peritano.
Now batting Anthony Peritano. Second season in Utica, came a little late to the ball club, but has made a statement. He's looked strong in the infield at shortstop, hit a grand slam for his first hit of the year, and now steady in the lineup right now for Doug Dillette's Blue Sox. Wirtz on base with none out. First pitch is a cut and a miss on the fastball, 0-1.
And I think if you're Peritano here, your biggest goal is to obviously get the runner further along, but kind of get into the head of the pitcher a little bit here. Obviously, he threw that 1-2-3 inning at the beginning. Now he's giving up a hit. This is a big opportunity to get into his head and continue pushing your runners along and kind of force Boonville into a not good position at this point in the game.
0-1 from Albright. Bounded over towards third, and that drifts off the bag foul. So 2 strikes right now on the shortstop, Peritano. So both teams 1 hit now through 1.5 innings. Home run for Smith in the top of the second. Bloop single for Wirtz right now, and he's on base. Inching off the bag. Albright delivers. Upstairs with the heat, 1-2. Connor Jones, the center fielder, on deck as Utica trying to come back from a 1-run deficit early on in the ball game. Albright ready. Fires home. Runner takes off. That's a ball down low. And a stolen base for Ian Wirtz as the count changes to 2-2. So the speed of the Blue Sox, one of their best qualities, in effect.
And we said this during the open, they like to steal quite a bit, and that's our first example of it in the game. On their first base runner, not really in an attempt at a throw there. It's a good decision there from the catcher, just in an effort to not let him to advance further along the base paths.
To center field, Lewis, a long run. This ball could escape, and it sails over the wall. It does escape. Forget about it, a home run. Anthony Peritano touches them all, and the Blue Sox lead 2-1.
Well, Peritano's going to get a chance to visit the unofficial team mascot in the dugout, Pickle Rick, who's been their kind of good luck charm as of late. But that ball just kind of hung up there and didn't want to fall down. It wasn't exactly the strongest hit ball, but it had the height enough to just sail on out of here, and nearly an identical position to where the Boonville home run went out.
Connor Jones now the hitter. Still nobody out in the bottom of the second. Sox now lead 2-1 on this gorgeous Sunday. First pitch is outside, 1-0. I have to tell you, outside of opening day, this looks to be the best crowd of the year for the Blue Sox, and they just got something to cheer about. Great atmosphere tonight at the ballpark, and the count now 1-1 on the fastball from Garrett Albright. So Garrett worked a fast 1-2-3 opening inning. Second innings got dicey, and now he's given up the lead. Nice dive by Oliver Lawrence to prevent the ball from going into the backstop. 2-1.
Albright's got to get things under control here. He's really struggled over these last 3 batters. Still nobody down in the bottom of the second, and you've got Carvelli and Fernsler coming up after Jones, who both are capable of hitting it out of here as well as Jones, who's currently up and currently ahead in the count 3-1.
After another fastball is a little too high, the count now 3-1. Albright trying to settle back down. His pitch is in for a strike. That was low on the edge. I'm sure Connor Jones wasn't exactly a fan of that call. But nevertheless, he has to accept it, and the count's now full. 3-2, where the base is empty. Albright staring into home plate. After giving up that home run, attempting to retire Jones. He can't do it. It's ball 4. So the Blue Sox have reached base each of their first 3 times up to the plate in the second inning. Single, home run, and now a walk. And now here comes Robbie Carvelli to hit the right fielder, taking his first turn at the dish this evening. So 1 on and still nobody out in the second. First pitch, pumped in, strike 1.
Well, you said that the first 3 batters to come up have reached base. That's not particularly surprising looking at Albright's stats with the 4.52 whip, averaging a lot of runners on base per inning. And so Utica trying to make that the case once again here in this one. So far, they've succeeded.
Wind picking up just a little bit, but still a pretty pleasant wind. Nothing disruptive that we've seen at other points throughout the season. Sun shining. Glistening blue sky overhead. 0-1 pitch is line foul to the right side. 2 strikes now. The count on Carvelli. Fernsler on deck. Tomei would follow as Blue Sox count. Make that the Blue Sox lineup. Continues to count down to the bottom of the order. Albright set. The Hurlers' 0-2 pitch to Carvelli. Runner holds, swing and a soft foul. Still 0-2, and the at-bat continues as Robbie stays alive.
Well, Carvelli here is just going to definitely be looking to swing at anything he thinks is in the zone with this being 0-2. Don't want to go down looking against a pitcher like Albright where you know that he's going to give you pitches that you can hit.
Another pickoff attempt towards Peritano, and a second one of this inning unsuccessful. And Anthony with a slide back into the bag to stay on the base paths. Peritano leading off at first after his no-out walk. 0-2 pitch. Another pitch fought off and foul, and a souvenir past the PA booth into the right field bleachers. So a couple of foul balls for Carvelli. This last one traveled pretty far into the right field seats, and a fan gave it to a young boy who I'm sure will have his day made. Another 0-2, that's outside. Lawrence throws back over to first, looking to get the out, and Peritano avoids that inauspicious fate. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Carvelli. 1 on at first and none out in the second. Blue Sox up by 1. That's fouled off. So Jones, excuse me, not Peritano. Anthony hit the home run, so correcting myself, Connor Jones is at first base.
This is getting to be an excessively long at-bat here for Carvelli as he just battles to stay in this one and get the pitch that he wants off of Albright.
CJ inching off the first base bag. Ready to take off. Stays put on the 1-2 on a chopping ground ball. Swing him at shortstop. Throw over to first. And he got him for the out.
That was very close there. He was extremely close to beating that one out. Umpire says no, but fortunately for the Blue Sox, they only get 1 on that. So lead runner advances in the scoring position with Fernsler getting the opportunity to drive him home.
So Connor Jones advances to second base. Now it's Bowden Fernsler batting in the bottom of the second. Infield back for the Jacks. First pitch from Albright is curved in for a strike. 0-1. Outfield at relatively normal depth. Wind picking up a bit in this sophomore inning. Garrett Albright set. Runner on at second, 1 down. The pitch. Over towards first. Lopez knocks it down. It touches the bag for the unassisted out. There's 2 down. And that advances Connor Jones to third base now. He is 90 feet away from scoring.
But they haven't been able to get the lead runner. Jones just continuing to advance. And Tomei, who we've said this multiple times, led the Blue Sox in home runs last season. What an opportunity here this would be to get him on the board with those right now. And drive home Jones and make this a 3-1 game.
First pitch to RJ. He's zipped in for strike 1. Connor Jones at third. He walked and advanced on 2 ground ball outs by Carvelli and Fernsler. Blue Sox leading by 1. Line shot, bounced fair inside the bag. Smith, a long throw, hopping towards first in time. An excellent play by Marcus Smith, who's having himself quite a game. That strands Connor Jones at third base. But the Blue Sox take the lead on a home run by Anthony Paratano. They lead by 1. We enter the third inning now. The top of the frame with Boonville batting. Down 2-1. Both clubs have hit home runs. Marcus Smith with a solo job and a 2-run shot by Anthony Paratano in the bottom of the second. Along with Killian Heffron, I'm Morgan Spriggs, here to bring you along on this Father's Day.
Leading off the top of the third for Boonville, left fielder number 5, Noah Reed.
And Noah Reed, the left fielder, leads off for the Lumberjacks. 8, 9, and 10 due up against Jordan Ake, who has pitched relatively well for these 2 innings. 3 strikeouts and was looking strong with 2 gone in the second, but then gave up a bomb to Marcus Smith. First pitch of his third, drops low and blocked by Wirtz. 1 ball and no strikes.
But I think for Ake, as long as he's able to keep his composure and not let that home run rattle him, he'll be fine. I mean, besides that homer, the rest of his work today has been absolutely astounding.
The 1-ball pitch is a foul ball climbing up towards the screen behind home plate. Count shifts to 1 ball and 1 strike. Noah Reed, a .267 batting average in 15 at-bats. Hasn't scored a run yet, but has driven in 5 with his stick. And the count shifts now to 1-2 on a strike pumped in by Ake. Went with that fastball off the top corner. So Jordan looking for another strikeout. Can it come here? No. Went for the breaking stuff and couldn't get a chase. 3 strikeouts for Jordan Ake through 2 innings. 1 for Swingham in the first, and got Clarkson and Lopez back-to-back in the second. Now a 2-2 to Noah Reed. Is swung on and dribbled to shortstop. Routine play for Paratano. And he throws over to Jacobs for out number 1. Now it is Devon Abaga, the second baseman, to take his turn with 1 out in the third.
The throw there to Jacobs a little high. He had to stretch up to make that, but was able to snag that one out of the air. And it keeps the runner off. only hit for Boonville today was that home run, and that continues to be the case.
Devon Abaga looks at first pitch, ball 1, as it bounces short of home plate. So Jordan Ake would like to have that pitch back, but he can't, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Devon Abaga coming in with 4 hits, and 3 of the 4 are 2 base hits. There's a strike on the outside edge. So when Abaga gets hits, they've been big ones. Ake delivers upstairs to Abaga. Went with that fastball and just sailed a little bit over the white helmet of the 9-hitter.
Well, as long as Ake's able to keep his composure here and place his pitches, he should be okay.
There's a strike, and Abaga was already across the plate and out of the other batter's box before he realized he had to go back. The count is 3-2. Ake delivers. Outside, ball 4. And so Abaga thought it was the 4th pitch outside of his at-bat. The last pitch, he was wrong there. He's right this time. So a 1-out base on balls for Abaga, and now it brings us to the bottom of the order with the catcher, Oliver Lawrence.
Well, Lawrence here has a unique opportunity. It's the first base runner that Boonville has had today.
First pitch is in there for a strike as Ake looks to climb back into his 3rd inning after issuing a walk. The 0-1 is outside, throw towards first, not in time. Count 1-1. The first runner on base of the game for Boonville, as when Smith hit his home run, he wasn't exactly on base very long, just trotted around the 4 pillows to get his HR. So the first guy that Ake has had to deal with on base for an extensive period of time. That fastball got away from Jordan there. And he has to be careful he doesn't walk back-to-back batters. The count is 2-1.
And we're seeing him slowly, it looks like, kind of lose that consistency on his pitches. They're kind of going upstairs, a little downstairs. Had a couple in the dirt earlier on in the side. But this would be a great opportunity here for him to bring it back under control.
Runner takes off, and the ball clanks off of Wirtz's glove, so he can't attempt to toss towards second to get Abaga stealing. And so Devon Abaga has himself a theft of second base. First steal of the game for the Lumberjacks, and they have a runner in scoring position looking to tie the game at 2 in the 3rd. Ake shifts his eyes back to the plate and fires in ball 4 on a fastball just missing off the top edge of the zone. Back-to-back walks for Boonville in this 3rd inning. And that brings us to the top of the order with Wyatt Lassiter making his 2nd plate appearance of the game. He grounded out to Peritano at shortstop his first time off, up to lead the game.
And with Ake no longer looking unhittable like he was in the early stretch, this is a good opportunity for Lassiter to build back his confidence after he got entirely bamboozled on 2 pitches and then grounded one to short to conclude his at-bat.
Here comes Wyatt Lassiter. Jacobs is pulled in at first, holding the runner on the bag. Second short at relatively normal depth. Frinsler over there at 3rd. Here comes a bunt attempt, at least showing bunt, and that's taken for ball 1. So Lumberjacks, at least appearing like they're going to try and play some small ball here with the leadoff hitter Lassiter. First and second occupied. 1 gone in the visiting 3rd. 2-1 game in favor of Utica. Ake checks the runner at 2nd. Now fires home. Swing and a miss. Throw takes off to third, and that's in and out of the glove of Fernsler, and so both runners will steal their bases. Taking off for third and successfully reaching base is Abaga, second stolen base for him, and Lawrence with a stolen base of second.
Well, Abaga is going to be thanking the baseball gods that he was able to get in there on that one, because the throw beat him. It was just dropped at third.
Ake leans in, has to contend with 2 runners in scoring position, and both with a lot of speed. 3 combined steals this inning. That ball gets away off the glove of Wirtz. Abaga trots in and scores the second run of the game for Boonville, and we're tied in the third. Advancing to third base is Lawrence, and this inning has unraveled for Ake.
And now if you're Doug Dillette, I wonder if you start standing somebody up, getting some people moving in the bullpen. Because Ake struggled here over the last few batters. Only 1 down in the top of the third and runner on third still. Boonville looks poised to take the lead right back.
A wild pitch scoring Abaga and advancing Lawrence to third. Popped up and foul to the left side.
This will be a big out right here if he can get it on Lassiter. Would face Swingham for the second time. He struck out Swingham his first time up.
Line shot, center field. That sinks in for a base hit, scoring Lawrence. And Boonville is in the lead for the second time today. An RBI single for Swingham. And the Lumberjacks have a 3-2 advantage. Make that Lassiter with the RBI hit. And then it'll be Swingham to hit. Wyatt Lassiter with the RBI single. Here's Swingham now. Strike 1 to Zeb. Struck out in the first inning. So 3 runs. Make that 2 runs have come across in the inning for Boonville. 3 overall for the game. Abaga and Lawrence touching home. That's blocked at home plate by Wirtz on a ball low for Ake. And his third inning has been unsuccessful for him compared to the breezy first inning and the 2 strikeouts in the second.
The accuracy continues to be the issue. That one down to dirt again. Just having trouble finding the zone.
1-1. Dipping low, 2-1.
And with only 1 down, still plenty of room for opportunity here for Boonville, who would have Marshall on deck.
Wyatt Lassiter at first base. Fly ball high in the air. On the infield, Peritano speeds in and makes the catch for the out on a pop fly. So a critical second out for Jordan Ake as he attempts to escape the frame, just allowing the 2. Here comes Masai Marshall to hit. He is 0 for 1, flew out to Robbie Carvelli to end the first inning. His opening time to the dish. Jordan Ake ready. 1 runner on. First pitch, strike 1. Authoritatively drilled in to the strike zone. You can see Jordan a little upset for his inning, trying to keep the game a 1-run contest. Delivers an 0-1. And that pitch can't find the zone on a fastball low, 1-1. Wyatt Lassiter at first. Hit an RBI single to score Lawrence from third. And he's still stuck at the first base bag. Trying to push him over even further. Beside Marshall at the plate, takes the ball. 2-1. Michael Clarkson on deck.
For Marshall here, you imagine the goal is just reach and then just see what happens with Ake, who's just been struggling in the top of the third. I feel like Boonville is going to have enough confidence
That's another ball, 3-1.
And the remainder of their hitting core to drive them home. So the goal here, not to drive runs home immediately. I mean, obviously they take that if it comes to it, but if you get on, I'm sure they have the confidence in everybody else.
3-1 in the pitch. Lofted towards right field and out of the reach of everybody. And out of play. It's now 3-2. So Ake with a chance to get a strikeout to end the third inning. And set down Messiah Marshall, the DH. Clarkson on deck. Lumberjacks want to continue this inning and further threaten the Blue Sox pitching staff. Runner takes off. Line shot center field. Jones twists around, extends, and makes the grab! That's out number 3 as CJ goes full extension for out number 3. What a catch as that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-2 Boonville. We're back in the bottom of the third, and how great of a catch that was for Connor Jones Killian, leaving his feet to snare out number 3 when there was a chance that fly for Marshall could have scored Lassiter.
Yeah, you think of the what-ifs. I mean, easily reaching second if that one had dropped, but able to get up there and make that catch. Had to actually dive back to snag that one, but, I mean, the reaction of the umpire on the out call kind of tells the whole story. Probably the most enthusiastic out call I've ever seen for a line out.
An excellent play for Jones. He has a lot of range in center field, and now the last hitter in the lineup to take his first at bat of the game for the Sox. It's Alex Jacobs facing Albright in the third, and a first pitch fastball is too high. 1-0. Blue Sox down 3-2. Here in the third inning, and this pitch is dropped in for a strike, 1-1.
That's a beautiful curveball there. Hung that one right in. Got to fall right into the center of the zone.
1 ball and 1 strike. Albright delivers. Missed the spot on a breaking pitch. Lawrence on the block. It's 2-1 now. Base is empty, just getting underway in the bottom of the inning. In a close contest. Both teams have had the lead at 1 point, and that pitch misses the zone again, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Alex Jacobs trying to take a leadoff walk or get on base any way he can. Albright attempting to prevent that. 3-1 pitch, fires in a strike. Low part of the zone, and the count is run full. Infield's playing back, especially Abaga at second, who's way on the grass. Swingham has 1 foot on the dirt. Albright ready. In his motion. Full count pitch. Here it comes. In the air, center field. Lewis barely has to move. Drifts off to his right and secures that fly for out number 1.
Looked for a second like he lost it. He kind of motioned like, I don't know where that was. Then he picked up on it again and was able to make the few steps out to his right and bring that one in to retire Jacobs.
To the top of the order with Jack Sweeney. He popped out to Lawrence at catcher. His first time up, 0 for 1. First pitch from Albright. in there for a strike. Nice curved ball. As Garrett attempts to settle his outing. Now with a 1-run lead. 0-1 pitch. That tails away. Ball 1. Stunning day weather-wise, and we've had a good ball game. Lasered into right field. Caught for the out in foul ground by Lassiter.
So now the player with the most fans in the stands, Caden Fry, comes up, and you can hear, assuming it's probably his family that's come out here to Murnane Field to watch him play.
I can see several rows of family members for Caden Fry. They're looking to see a highlight with 2 gone in the 3rd. First pitch to Caden is outside for ball 1. So Albright with 2 easy outs in the outfield. Now trying to get Fry to complete the 1-2-3 frame. Fastball 1-1 now. Abaga is way on the grass. He's almost like a 4th outfielder. Lawrence can't handle that breaking ball. It ricochets all the way to the Boonville dugout. That goes down in the books as ball 2. That would have been a wild pitch if somebody was on base to advance. Fry ready. Waits for a 2-1 and watches the strike find the bottom half of the zone. 2-2 now.
And Fry's now in danger of striking out for the 2nd time on the night.
2-2 pitch from Albright. Sails away, ball 3. You're at the top of the order. Blue Sox trying to get somebody on base to start a 2-out rally. Albright wants a clean inning. Can he get it on the 3-2? Comebacker. Bounced right back to the mound. The underhand toss from Albright gets out number 3. And the Blue Sox go in order in the bottom of the 3rd. Boonville still leads 3-2.
We're back here for the top of the 4th. Boonville looking to extend their lead. They lead this one 3-2. Both teams with 2 hits and no errors recorded on either side. It's Michael Clarkson coming up to start things off for the Boonville Lumberjacks. 1 strikeout on the day. That happened in the 2nd inning, and he was the leadoff hitter in that inning, as he will be here in the 4th. Joined alongside by Morgan Spriggs, I'm Killian Heffron. And Morgan, this game so far for Utica has been one of them getting bounces and then just immediately letting Boonville climb back into the game.
Exactly right. The Blue Sox took a 2-1 lead on a home run by Anthony Paratano, but some poor command for 8 gave that back in the 3rd. We've had a seesaw game early on, but the intrigue is only going to further grow as we come along further into the contest.
So the E.H. Clarkson waved through that first pitch for a strike, 0-1. facing Ake for the second time on the night. Ake only conceded 2 hits, but a number of walks and wild pitches have been the reason for the runs, as just like that one right there, as that bounces in the dirt, then off the shoulder of the catcher Ian Wirtz, and then back into the backstop. So 1-1 early on here for Clarkson. Yet to reach base on the evening so far. Here's a 1-1. And he swings through that one early and it goes to 1-2. Fooled by the off-speed offering, as now Clarkson looks to avoid striking out for the second time tonight. Infielders playing slightly deep. Outfielders playing in their almost positions here to face off against Clarkson. And he swings through that one. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 3. So for the second time tonight, Michael Clarkson is down in the swinging variant of the strikeout.
So it is clear Clarkson is not able to solve Jordan Ake. That was a mystifying pitch.
Here's RJ Lopez. He also struck out back in the second, looking to reach base for the first time on the night. Wind still blowing out of the west. It's blowing out towards right field, which could be a bit of an aid to why we've seen home runs go out that way tonight. And that one is chopped, and the throw is way offline, and making it to first base, no problem as a result of that is Lopez, as that throw is a good 4 or 5 feet over the head there of the first baseman for Utica.
Yeah, that was not even close. An easy error.
Yeah, Alex Jacobs jumped for it and then quickly realized that there was no shot he was getting that ball, so he had to take off and go for a bit of a run. That's the first error on the game for either side, and so with one down, one man has reached for Boonville, as we will get a mound visit, and looks like a new arm coming into the game for the Blue Sox from the bullpen. So we will step aside here while they warm up the new guy. 3-2 Boonville in the top of the 4th. Don't go anywhere. So Marcus Smith still at bat for Boonville, and it will be Trevor Bailey coming in to pitch for the Lumberjacks here, as we'll get a look at some of his stats in a moment. But Morgan, for Utica, what does this kind of signify here for the Blue Sox, that they're going to change the pitcher here in the top of the 4th? And it's something a little different than what we saw the last time we saw the Blue Sox. We saw 2 pitchers go the entire game, but we're seeing here from Doug Dillette that he's kind of seen enough, I guess.
Yeah, Killian, coming into the game, Trevor Bailey with a 10.5 ERA, but that doesn't tell the full story. He's had some really strong stuff in terms of getting strikeouts with that fastball in his 3 appearances so far. So look for him to have some really nasty pitches, but also prevent some other batters from getting out as he struggles with control at times. So it's a bit of a grab bag of what you're going to get from Bailey, but at his best, he can be really effective.
So Bailey facing Smith, who homered his last time up, so that also could be a clue as to why they took him out right there. That one takes a weird hop in the infield. It will roll all the way into left field for a base hit.
I think that should go down as a base hit, even though that ball bounced through the legs of Fernsler. That was just a well-hit pitch. And Marcus Smith is now 2 for 2 on the game, a home run in the second and now a single in the fourth.
I was waiting to see what they ended up scoring that. Still no indication on the scoreboard quite yet.
I would call that a hit, personally. But, of course, we have to see what the official score says.
And no, they did end up ruling that an error. So 2 errors now on the board for the Blue Sox.
And back-to-back for Bowden Fernsler at the hot corner. That's a tough sequence for Bowden. And I have to be honest, I thought that was a hit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Fernsler really had an opportunity to make a play at that with just how weird of a bounce it took. But nevertheless, they end up scoring it on E5, so 2 consecutive E5s on 2 straight batters. That one will roll just foul, much to the dismay of the first base coach for Boonville.
That was so close. That would have added on to the runs already for Boonville if that pitch was just fair inside the bag.
So now we'll take a look at the stats here for Trevor Bailey. 6 innings pitched on the season, 10.5 ERA, 1 loss on the year credited with 6 strikeouts, 6 hits, and a whip of 2 exactly.
So again, Bailey, at his best, he can have some really good pitches, but right now gave up a leadoff base runner, though the scorer says it wasn't his fault because of the error. Oh, there's a pickoff at first.
And a disastrous play there is now, and there's another error. That ball thrown over the head. And everybody's safe. And what was originally a masterful pickoff there by Bailey results in everybody advancing.
That was a very poor play defensively for the Blue Sox. You had the out at first base. They tried to get the lead runner, Lopez, going to third. Tag out Smith. Tag out Smith. If Lopez wants to run and you throw over to third and you don't get him out, okay, whatever. Now you have nobody out in that sequence and second and third. That's a third error.
That one swung through by Bronx Lewis. It's 1-2. So Bronx Lewis, through this whole sequence, has been at the plate. He has a fly out in this game so far, but Utica's fielding 3 straight errors and 3 straight at-bats. Just not good what we've seen, and Lewis swings through that one and misses for strike 3. So first strikeout on the day from Bailey. But Bailey has not gotten that much in terms of help from his fielder so far in his short time in this game.
Bailey needed that, and if he can get Reed out and keep this a 3-2 game, that will be a huge success for the Blue Sox and mean that all the errors they've had in this inning don't account for any runs for the visiting team.
Noah Reed now the batter for Boonville. He grounded to short in the third. That's his only action in this game so far. In terms of offense, has made a couple of catches in left as the left fielder. Looking to drive a couple home. 2 runners in scoring position. Both were able to reach on errors and advance on errors. That pitch is fouled out to left. Lopez at third. Smith at second. Only 2 hits on the day for Boonville, yet they could take a 5-2 lead here with a base hit. The 1-1 to Reed is swung on and fouled back. That one will be chased down by about 15 different fans. One of them, I'm sure, will eventually come up with it. And it's now 1-2.
The key to the Blue Sox getting some wins over the last week has been playing better defense. And even though they're only down a run here, this is not the kind of fielding that leads to wins most of the time. See if Bailey can kind of bail out Sox fielders here.
The 1-2, that one is fouling off in a keep me in this at-bat type of swing just reaching out to try to make contact with that ball.
You got that right, Killian. That was an excuse me swing for Noah Reed.
So Reed able to buy at least one more pitch in the at-bat, looking to drive the runners in scoring position home and expand the lead for Boonville. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, and that one's bounced right to the pitcher. He will pitch that to Jacobs at first, and the side is retired. A masterful snag there by Bailey. Takes it off the one hop and flips it no problem to Alex Jacobs. So despite the errors, no runs able to come in for Boonville in the top of the fourth. It remains 3-2. So Ian Wirtz, the batter, due up for the Blue Sox. The catcher will lead things off, and we just saw probably the best game of Dizzy Bat we will see all season.
It was two dads who maybe had an alcoholic beverage or two in them doing the Dizzy Bat, and the gray shirt and blue shirt both took a face plant after trying to win the race. That was amazing.
Not to mention the gray shirt did two face plants, then got up and won the race. After blue shirt went about 15 miles off course to the left.
They were like, Andy's coming. He just decided to flop on the ground. I mean, I don't want to make fun of them, but that was hilarious.
So Ian Wirtz, who has a run in on the day after getting driven in off the Anthony Paratano homer, he's singled back in the second. He's up right now. Utica, 3 errors so far in this game, and one that had no errors coming into the top of the fourth. Now we're in the bottom of the fourth, and the Blue Sox commit 3 there in the side. That pitch swung on and missed, but the ball does jump away. It's 1-2.
So the Blue Sox survived a 3-error 4th inning without allowing any runs. And now, can they break out offensively?
The 1-2, Wirtz lines this one to left. It'll go foul off the fence. Got a couple of cheers there from the crowd as they thought that one might have a chance of staying fair, but
it was well hit, but just couldn't guide it inside the bag, Killian.
The ball most certainly disagreed. Second base playing way out into the outfield right now, and it's not unlike what we saw earlier in this game, as the 1-2 is grounded to short, fielded cleanly. The throw to first is high. Did he get the tag? No, he didn't. He's safe.
They should call that an error.
And yes, they do. Immediately, the E pops up on the scoreboard, followed by the Windows error sound effects. So first error of the game for Boonville, and reaching on the error is Ian Wirtz, which will bring up the home run hitter, Anthony Paratano.
Man, we've had a tough 4th inning with fielding misplays. That's 4 errors in the inning. That has to be one of the highest amounts across the league this season.
And so the leadoff pitch is bunted. The throw to first is in time. He got him, but the lead runner advances to second.
Yeah, Paratano try to force another bad throw by the Lumberjacks. But a strong field by Garrett Albright to prevent that. Still moves the runner over, though, so a productive out for Connor Jones, due up.
So the PA announcer announced that this is Peritano up right now. And whoever the mysterious hitter is flies this one into right foul. So Xavier Smith is the runner on second. Ian Wirtz. And this one is flown into right. This one, watching it go, it is out of here. Anthony Peritano, his second of the game. And for the second straight day at Murnane Field, Utica has had a player hit 2 home runs in the game. What a shot there by Peritano. Hit that one into deep right center. Initially, didn't think that one had a chance, but it just kind of hung up in the air and flew out of here. So now here comes Connor Jones.
The mystery on our end in uncovering who is the batter there is the mistake on our part was we put down Smith as the last batter of the third. The last batter was Fry, so we move up the batters by 1. So we take ownership for that, but Peritano took ownership of that pitch right there.
Yeah, and it's the second homer in the game for the Blue Sox that looked like it probably shouldn't get out of here, and then it just kind of keeps sailing. It lands out of the park. And so 2 straight swings and misses there for Connor Jones. And now 0-2, 1 down for the Blue Sox. And that pitch is way outside. That one will go down as a wild pitch. Looks like it just kind of held in the hand of the pitcher for a little too long before getting released. So the Blue Sox, two two-run homers in this game so far, both off the bat of Anthony Peritano. And they lead this one 4-3. It's certainly been a Blue Sox baseball game today with just the amount of chaotic stuff we've had. Here's a 2-2. That one is grounded right to the pitcher who flips it for the out, easily taking that one there at first was R.J. Lopez. Garrett Albright remaining in this game here for Boonville, giving up 2 homers and only 3 hits.
Ian Wirtz has been a great beneficiary of the guy hitting after him. Wirtz has gotten a single back in the second and scored a run on Peritano's home run in the second inning, and then Smith scored in the 4th.
So the first pitch there swung at and missed 0-1. Blue Sox hold the lead, trying to continue to expand this one here in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-1 swung on, missed 0-2, and now an opportunity here for Albright to get a quick out to end the side. Here's the 0-2. Infield backed up pretty far. The pitch is kind of jammed right to first, and that will retire to side. So easily snagging that one that got jammed and going to first is R.J. Lopez. Side retired. Blue Sox hit a 2-run shot. It's 4-3. And Boonville looks to respond when we come back. Two. So we're back here for the top of the fifth. Boonville looking to respond after giving up the 2-run homer to go down 4-3 in the bottom of the fourth. And leading off, it's Devon Abaga, who walked and scored a run. 2 stolen bases for Abaga in this game already. He's only been up to bat once and only been on base once. So Utica's going to be watching out for him when he gets on to the bag. And he hits this one into right field. Moving on back, this one is going to drop. Abaga rounds first. He makes his way to second, and he will stop right there. He's in standing, and it's a leadoff double for Devon Abaga.
And the twists and turns in this game just continue, Killian.
You talk about twists and turns in this game. There's been some twists and turns around the league tonight. Morgan, what do you got?
Thanks so much, Killian. Well, we already have some games in the books because Niagara and Elmira are playing a doubleheader. The first game went in favor of the Ironbacks, 7-5. The second game of the doubleheader, Niagara and Elmira, in a scoreless game in the first. And I'll get you more scores after this pitch.
Oliver Lawrence, the batter, he also walked and scored a run and stole a base back in the third inning.
Continuing on with the scores at Sal Magley Stadium, the Niagara Falls Americans lead Newark 12-4. It's a final at Dwyer Stadium, Batavia over Olean 3-2. And Geneva and Auburn scoreless in the fifth.
So the 1-0 now to Lawrence, and stepping off there is Trevor Bailey looking back at second base, trying to keep Abaga on, and Abaga is toying with him right now on the bag, just keeps taking massive leads and just jumping around. And you have to imagine eventually it's going to get into his head. If you're Bailey, Abaga doesn't take off there. That pitch misses 2-0. But one thing Abaga is doing at second is he's not staying like vertically aligned with the base. He's moving back and forth around the base path. As here's the pitch, that one swung on, grounded to short. The throw to third is in time. They got him with the tag. And so the runner makes it to first, but a nice fielder's choice play there as they get him out at third. And Abaga heads back to the dugout, this time not able to score a run.
That was all Anthony Paratano. He's been so steady at shortstop, and he made the great choice to try and get the lead runner out, and it was successful. And down goes Abaga.
And I'm sure much to Bailey's content as he no longer has to deal with Abaga dancing around behind him. Lester swings at the first pitch and fouls that one back 0-1. Each team with 3 hits on the day. Utica leads this one 4-3 in spite of their 3 errors, all of which came in the top of the fourth. Boonville's 1 error came in the bottom of the fourth. So the fielding's been struggling here so far in these middle innings. The 0-1, and the off-speed delivery misses high 1-1.
Now it is up to Bailey to kind of take that great play by Paratano to get the lead runner and turn that into a cleaner inning. Leading off the game by allowing a double isn't a good way to start a frame, but Bailey got a bit of a gift with that ground ball out. How can he respond to it?
Lassiter swung and missed at that one, and so now it's 1-2. Opportunity here for Utica to get 2 down. The pitch is swung on, high fly ball in the center, dropping on back and standing under it and making the catch there is the center fielder Connor Jones.
Much easier play for Jones than the last chance he had to field, which was a spectacular diving catch to get Messiah Marshall out in the third. That was an easy play and 2 out now.
So here's Zeb Swingham. He struck out and popped out so far. 0 for 2. One of 3 people for Boonville that are 0 for 2 on the day, and they all come actually within a row. And there's another 2 people that are 0 for 2 later on in the lineup. Boonville's production today has all really come from this one core of players at the bottom and the very top of their lineup. Here's that pitch. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1. Masai Marshall is on deck. He would be the next person that Bailey has to face. So here comes a 1-1. Swung on and chopped foul near the Blue Sox dugout. It bounces off the fence, and it goes to 1-2. Crowd continuing to stick this one through here in the top of the 5th. As we're just about an hour and 20 minutes after first pitch. Looking to get into the statistical second half of the game. The 1-2 is high, and the count evens out at 2.
Bailey just attempting to find the right pitch that he can to retire the inning. Hasn't found it yet.
Oliver Lawrence, the catcher, is sitting at first base. He reached on the fielder's choice that saw Devon Abaga get tagged out at third. Here's the pitch. That one misses, and now suddenly the counts run full. And Bailey in a bit of trouble of walking one in scoring position. Wind slowly starting to pick up. Utica infield playing slightly out. Outfield playing slightly out as well. However, they all take a couple steps in right before the payoff. And that one is fouled off the ceiling. It got over the netting, only the second time that's happened this year.
That was the wind going upstream, Killian.
Sending about 10 fans ducking for cover as it ends up bouncing back down onto the net. So 1 fan will end up going home with a souvenir, and we'll do the 3-2 once again. Lawrence at first. The 3-2. That's swung on, and it's chopped to first. Jacobs will take it himself, and that will retire to side. So Alex Jacobs easily fields that one, brings it himself to first base. Side retired. It remains 4-3 Utica. Boonville unable to respond. Blue Sox look to extend their lead when we come back.
What's up?
We're back here for the bottom of the 5th. Bowden Fernsler will lead off, the third baseman. He grounded to first last time up. Utica will complete their second time around the order here in the bottom of the 5th, as after him it'll be Tomei, then back to the top of the order with Sweeney. First pitch there from Albright misses high, 1-0. Infield once again playing way out, as they've been pretty much this whole game. And that one's pumped in there for a strike. It's 1-1.
What's interesting, given how back and forth this game has been, Killian, the Blue Sox and the Lumberjacks have scored at least 1 run in every inning since the first.
And that one is grounded to third. The throw is in time. He got him. What a throw there from third base from Marcus Smith.
Smith's had a great game. He's been solid at third base and hit a home run. He's one of the best players on the Lumberjacks, and he's showing it today.
Here's R.J. Tomei, one of the returners this year for the Blue Sox. He grounded to third and gave Smith some more work back in the second inning. Hoping to get a better result this time around. And the first pitch is up near his head. He has to duck out of the way of that one. It's 1-0. Albright's only allowed 3 hits on the night. However, 2 of them were homers, and both of them carried multiple runs. And for the second time in this inning alone, we have a foul ball hit off the roof. Only the 3rd time that's happened this season now.
Makes a loud, reverberating noise that jolts everybody to their senses.
1-0 to Tomei. And he stares at that one that is low, 2-1. Clouds have all moved out now. It's a beautiful night here at Murnane Field. Temperature being observed on site is 76. But with a wind that feels slightly more cool than that, that one fouled down the third base line. It's 2-2. The crowd probably making a run up for the biggest one we've seen here this season. They've continued to stay here, and why not? Beautiful night. Only 6:45 p.m. right now.
It doesn't feel like night. It feels like 3 o'clock in the afternoon just looking at the sun, but it's a summer solstice, so the sun stays out the longest of any day of the year.
And this is when normally Blue Sox games would start. Right now, it's 6:45 exactly, as taking a walk to first base will be R.J. Tomei.
First time on base for Tomei in his second plate appearance.
And it's only the second walk given out by Albright on the night, as Jack Sweeney now comes to the plate.
First baseman, number 16, Alex Jacobs.
Or excuse me, Alex Jacobs. Jacobs flew out his first time up. And now his second time matched up against Albright in this game. Albright takes a breath, the delivery, and swinging and missing is Jacobs, but it looks like they say he did not tip that ball, so a stolen base for R.J. Tomei.
Speed of Tomei in full effect, and the Blue Sox have a runner in scoring position in the 5th.
And I'm sure it's much to Tomei's happiness that that ball was not made contact with, as he would have had to go right back to first base. Here's the 0-1. Jacob stares at that one outside 1-1. Infield skewed over to the right slightly. Outfield also skewed over to the right, but leaving a massive gap in left center. And grounding it to second base is Jacobs. And the routine play is made, but advancing off to third base is R.J. Tomei with 2 down. So now we're back to the top of the order with Jack Sweeney. Sweeney coming off of a 2 home run performance during their last Blue Sox home game. Looking to maybe continue making his run up the home run rankings in the league this year, as he stares at that first one that misses for a ball 1-0. in the top 5 in the league this year for home runs with 3. Utica sitting at 6-9 coming in on the night compared to Boonville's 4-9. And each of these teams certainly not out of it by any stretch with tons of season left to play, but the race for what seems to be only one playoff spot up for grabs between 4 different teams is starting to intensify. 1-1. That ball is swung on and fouled into the foot of Sweeney. 1-2. And Albright now presented with the opportunity of getting out with a scoreless inning here in the bottom of the 5th. So here comes the 1-2. Infield playing way out. The pitch is swung on, high fly ball to left. This one will go foul. Coming on over and just couldn't make the play. Oh man, what an effort from Noah Reed.
He dove out in foul territory to try and make the catch just out of his reach. That would have been an incredible play. That would have topped Jones's catch for sure.
And he had to go at least probably 60, maybe even 70 feet to get to that ball. Just with how the outfield's lined up. They still have a big gap in left center. And the infield playing more skewed towards the baselines. Here's the 1-2. This one is grounded. It couldn't be fielded cleanly. The throw is made. They got him. What an incredible recovery there by the third baseman, Marcus Smith.
Guess who? He did it again, Killian. He's one heck of a fielder.
Marcus Smith continues to slam the door shut on Utica and anybody trying to hit the ball out to third base. It remains 4-3, side retired. We'll be back. Boonville trying to respond and tie this one up in the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere.
A Men's College World Series update in Game 2 in Omaha. North Carolina forced a winner-take-all Game 3, beating Oklahoma 6-2. They will play for the championship tomorrow night. Back for the play-by-play and back to PGCBL baseball, Killian Hevron.
Well, thank you, Morgan. Boonville trying to tie this one up here in the top of the 6th. It's Messiah Marshall getting the nod to start things off as the leadoff man in the 6th inning. And the leadoff pitch hits him there from Bailey, so one pitch, one runner on. And Messiah Marshall has reached base for the first time tonight. However, he does remain 0 for 2.
So now here comes Clarkson, trying to avoid going 0 for 3 with a trio of Ks. He struck out swinging his first 2 times up, but now he has a runner on base. He led off the last 2 innings, so that wasn't possible for him before.
Strikeouts have not really been a problem tonight for the Blue Sox. It's just been errors and mistakes in terms of accuracy that have cost them. A lot of throwing mistakes in the infield. However, they do hold the lead off the pair of homers from Paratano. And did that one come in and hit him again? They say it didn't.
Ugh, Bailey's got to be careful. He doesn't plunk another guy.
I think that one looked closer than it actually was.
He definitely threw near his body. That's for sure.
So now the only one for Clarkson. That one misses 1-1. Or excuse me, 2-1. Scoreboard here in the ballpark reading 1-1 until now. Here's the pitch. That one misses again, and now in danger of walking Clarkson is Bailey. And with nobody down, Boonville can put a runner in scoring position and put the go-ahead run on base.
You wonder at what point would Doug DeWitt think about going to the bullpen for the second time if the struggles continue in the inning.
Clarkson swings through that one. The count goes full.
Bailey says not so fast to that sentiment of getting out of the ball game. He wants to climb back into this count and get Clarkson out again.
Let's see if he can do it. Clarkson 0 for 2, and he flies that one out to right foul. And that one is actually way foul. It lands over the old building over there out in right field.
I have to say, some of the children racing for the foul ball have better balance than the two dads doing dizzy bat earlier.
Well, they're not dizzy, so the 3-2 is grounded in it, and it will clip off of the runner.
He's out.
He is out.
Wow. I have not seen that all year. If the runner gets hit with a batted ball, he is out.
And so Masai Marshall, who had the opportunity to become the runner that got into scoring position.
I think that was a clear single for Clarkson, and he reaches base, but it could have been first and second with none out.
And what's more curious there is that Marshall didn't even take a look at it. He kind of just, there wasn't really even an attempt to avoid that ball. I mean, usually you'll see guys trying to make a hop or hold up a second. He just went and got nailed in the shin.
Yeah.
So here's RJ Lopez. He struck out, reached on an error in this game so far. Tying run at first with one down off of the hit by batted ball. I'm honestly not quite sure what the official term is for that.
I think like maybe offensive interference is what I would say.
So the 1-1 and swinging through on the off-speed offering is Lopez, and now the count goes to 1-2 of an opportunity to get the second out. Bailey looks to get the second out of the top of the sixth. That one misses high, count evens up at 2. Not really much in terms of stealing attempts from Clarkson. He's just kind of hanging out at first, not really trying to break off of it at all. And now it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside, and now count goes full. And so Boonville an opportunity to get the runner into scoring position off a walk, this time just with one down instead of nobody down, like it would have been had the offensive interference not occurred. The payoff pitch from Bailey. The delivery. That one swung on, and it's grounded sharply into center for a base hit. And so, runners in scoring position now with the tying run at second, and the go-ahead run still slightly out of scoring position, but still on base at first. And now the insurance marker comes up to bat, or the would-be insurance marker if he's able to score, and Marcus Smith. With one down, looking to tie this one up here for Boonville. Smith already homered tonight. This is not the guy you want to face in this situation. And he reached off of an error at third. Leadoff pitch. Smith takes that one down the middle for a strike, 0-1.
Bailey got really lucky when Messiah Marshall was clipped with that batted ball, or else bases would have been loaded or a run could have scored in this inning already.
Here's the 0-1. That's swung on, grounded to third to Fernsler. The throw to second is inaccurate again, and for the third time today, it's going to be an E5 for the Blue Sox. A run will come in and score. That's Michael Clarkson, the EH, that came in and scored. Advancing the third is RJ Lopez, and Marcus Smith, for the second time today, has reached on an error.
I don't want to continue to harp on Fernsler's struggles, but this is the third error he's made at his position. At what point do you possibly make a change defensively? It's just not been his day.
So now the leadoff pitch here to Bronx Lewis, who's 0 for 2, flew out and struck out, and he stares at that one on the outside edge for a strike. Game all tied up at 4 in the top of the 6th inning. Pleasure for you all to join us on this Sunday evening. Nice 75 degrees here with some slight wind out of the west and blowing towards right field. Taking off and in standing up off of the defensive indifference there will be Marcus Smith.
I think they're going to give him a stolen base here, but everybody was pretty indifferent. You're right with that description.
Yeah, nobody really moved to make any kind of play on him at second, so if it goes on as a stolen base, it's stat padding. 0-2. That one misses low and inside 1-2.
I think he's just trying to get in scoring position.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't be against that going down as a stolen base.
Nope. That's what I scored it as.
Looks good on the stat card. Infield all playing in here. Everyone just trying to get that out at home, although it's not a force. We have 2 runners in scoring position. The 1-2, that one outside.
This is a dangerous spot for Bailey. He's already given up a run, though it's not going to go down as an earned run for him, but you want to keep the scoreboard knotted at 4 here.
With 1 down, if Lewis is able to reach, it would load it up, assuming nobody scores for Noah Reed. It's 2-2. And I imagine it would be pretty tough for nobody to score in this situation unless it's a
walk, hit by a pitch, something like that.
Yeah. Swinging at that one and fouling it into the catcher's mask and then off the backstop. It will remain 2-2.
I think this is the biggest batter of the game for Blue Sox pitching staff, because if Bronx Lewis is out here, that means you don't have to worry about the 2 base runners when facing Reed. Just get Noah Reed out, because then nobody would score. But you need to get the second out here.
A 2-2. That one swung on, grounded into center field for a base hit. 1 run in and scores. The second run is in. The throw was way offline. Advancing the second base will be Lewis. And so Bronx Lewis pulls into second. And so it's a 2-run scoring double there for Bronx Lewis. And this would bring up Noah Reed now, who has a runner in scoring position on second. But first, it'll be a pitching change for the Blue Sox. 6-4 our score. Boonville taking the lead. We'll be back. Drake Aycock now in for the Utica Blue Sox at pitcher, as they trail Boonville 6-4 here in the top of the sixth. Only one down, and we will get a look here at some of the stats for Drake Aycock. 6 innings pitched on the year, 3 ERA, no wins and no losses credited to him, 4 strikeouts and 3 hits allowed with a whip of 1.17.
Yeah, Aycock has the 3rd best ERA. The 4th best ERA in the Blue Sox, just behind Kafka, Pucinelli, and Rhodes.
And Aycock here trying to work the Blue Sox out of a bit of a jam. Runner on second, only one down. As here's the leadoff pitch to Noah Reed in there for a strike 0-1. And Aycock featuring that sidearm slash submarine-like delivery. I believe he's the only Blue Sox pitcher that boasts that.
It makes his pitches uniquely hard to hit with that delivery, and he's already got the count in his favor, 2 strikes to no balls.
And the opportunity now to finish off Reed on 3 pitches. Reed 0 for 2 on the day, hoping to not become 0 for 3. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Went fishing at that one that was outside the zone. And down goes Reed for the 3rd time tonight. He is now 0 for 3. So Devon Abaga now comes up, and Abaga was not exactly the most nice person on second base last time. Was dancing around for a while before finally getting called out on the fielder's choice. And he comes up to bat here in the 6th. He hit a double back in the 5th, so his bat is quite experienced in this game. However, it's his first time facing Aycock.
Yeah, Abaga's reached both his times up to hit. Walked his first time up in the 3rd and came around to score.
Blue Sox trail 6-4. Boonville with the advantage and hits 5-3. That pitch from Aycock nearly comes in and hits him, but just getting out of the way. There was Abaga. It's 1-1. Story on the night for Utica has been the errors. It's allowed the runners to advance and allowed a couple of them to score. 4 errors compared to Boonville's 1. That pitch from Aycock misses. It's 2-1. Bronx Lewis on second. He hit a single there, a 2 RBI single, and was able to advance to second on the subsequent throw home. 2-1. That one swung on into right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Rounding third base and scoring easily is Bronx Lewis. And so Devon Abaga with an RBI single. And he's now 2 for 2 on the night. His only overtime up was in the 3rd, and he walked. And now with Abaga on base, he's a big stolen base threat. Stole twice in the 3rd. Wasn't able to steal in the 5th. And here's Oliver Lawrence. He's 0 for 0 on the night. Walked and fielder's choice. And that was the fielder's choice that ended up catching out Abaga as he tried to advance to 3rd. Leadoff pitch from Aycock. Abaga takes off. This one is grounded, fielded cleanly at 3rd.
There we go.
And that will retire to side. So Ferns are able to put the Demons behind him a little bit there, make the throw to first base to retire to side, but not before the damage is done. It's 7-4 Boonville following 5.5. Utica looks to respond when we come back. We're back. Kanias Davis now on the mound for the Lumberjacks, but to retire the top of the sixth, what a play there by Bowen Fernsler.
Exactly right, Killian. And after Fernsler has not had a good day at third base, it was great to see him make such a fabulous play as he went sidearm, throwing across his body, pulled in from third base. It goes to show that Fernsler has a lot of talent at third base, and he's trying to put those mistakes behind him. I was really encouraged by what I saw by that play by Fernsler, and it just shows that he's not going to give up on the diamond. He's going to continue to make good plays.
It was a really rocky warm-up pitch, a couple of warm-up pitches there for Boonville, as they had a number of wild pitches and throwing errors. So not the big thing they want to see going into the new pitcher. And so here comes Caden Fry leading off. After him, it will be Xavier Smith and then Ian Wirtz. Fry struck out and grounded out to the pitcher in this game so far. At first pitch misses 1-0.
Here's the opportunity for the Blue Sox. Can they just get a run or two on the board, get back into this contest after a rough top of the inning?
And a really fast pace early on here from Boonville.
Davis is not wasting any time at all. He can throw really fast pitches, trying to catch batters off guard here with his pace now.
A 2-0. That one is chopped to short. The throw to first is not accurate and not in time, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway since the catch was not able to be secured.
That was a low throw at shortstop. I think they may, I would give it a hit to Fry because he really beat out the throw down the line, and it was a close play.
Yeah, they do end up crediting him with the hit, looks like, on the scoreboard. So the fourth hit of the game for the Blue Sox, and here's the X-Man, Xavier Smith. Smith with Fry on first, and nobody out. He takes the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Sun just starting to get lower on in the sky.
Still feels like 4 o'clock right now instead of 7:13.
The 5:15 start helps with that, but in stealing, no problem there is Smith. Or Fry, excuse me. Smith is currently at the plate. And now, a quick mound visit.
I have to tell you, our PN announcer, Tim Best, is playing Say What You Need to Say during opposing team mound visits is one of my favorite things that he does in the booth. So many great audio messages.
The 1-1 miss, it's now 2-1 to Smith. Fry, who stole second there, it's his first stolen base on the night. The 2-1. That swung on off the edge of the roof there and falls back down to the floor.
And you look at Davis and what he's done on the year. 6 ERA. He struck out 3, only giving up 1 hit coming into this contest. So a solid, versatile relief arm for the Lumberjacks, now trying to get around a runner on second and none-out situation.
Kanias Davis, no outs recorded yet on the night. That pitch gets away, and so making his way to third is Fry with nobody down, and it's a full count to Smith. Xavier Smith, who scored a run tonight after reaching on an error and grounded to third. And that ground up to third went to the red-hot Marcus Smith, who has just been absolutely insane in this game so far.
Home run, several incredible plays at third base. And now a walk, first and third.
So Smith takes a stroll to first base. And now here comes Ian Wirtz. Nobody down for Utica in the bottom of the 6th.
And do you want to know what's important about this rally and first and third situation for the Blue Sox? Want to know why it's important that it's coming at this time? Hitting after Wirtz is the main man, Anthony Paratano, who has 2 home runs.
That pitch in there for a strike was mishandled initially, and Smith thought about taking off, ended up just settling to stay on at first. 0-1 to the catcher, Wirtz. And the pickoff attempt, it was a bit of a weak throw there on the pickoff attempt, I thought there.
Davis has to be careful. He doesn't throw one away towards first on a pickoff attempt and allow Fry to score from third.
The 0-1, high fly ball. This one is going way foul and making the catch. Nobody will advance. And it looks like that was the first baseman, RJ Lopez, who got in there and snagged that one out of the sky.
Here comes Peritano, 2 for 2 with a pair of bombs. If he hits one out here, we're tied. And I think this place will go nuts. Killian.
Walking up the perfect timing by Shedeur Sanders, and this has been his perfect timing game today. He's had perfect timing on both swings that sent it out of the park, that's for sure.
Oh, you bet.
Leadoff pitch, and he swings at that one. Fly ball into right. Unfortunately, this one's not going to make it out of the park. It's instead a fly out. Tagging and scoring is Fry. It's 7-5. So even with the fly out from Peritano, he gets an RBI. 3 RBI on the day for him off the pair of 2-run homers, or technically 5 RBI, if you include himself. And this will bring up Connor Jones. So 2 outs quickly here for the Blue Sox. A runner on first, but they're able to chip into this Boonville lead. And Connor Jones now the opportunity to extend the inning. Leadoff pitch. Never mind, stepping on off and taking some time to gather himself as Jones. And the OK sound effect there played by PA announcer Tim Best. The actual leadoff pitch misses 1-0. Kanias Jones, only 1 run allowed here. But the big thing is he was able to get Peritano to fly out. So he could have done a lot more damage had he been able to hit that one out of the park.
It wasn't too far off from that either. That pitch was hit decently well to right field and deep into the outfield. Didn't have enough juice on it, though.
And so it's quickly 1-2 to Jones, and so now the the Davis versus Jones battle. Kanias Davis looking to retire to side. It's 1-2. Takes a breath. The pitch is inside, misses, and the throw to first the throw to second was in time, but unable to control that one. There was the second baseman, Devon Abaga. So it's a stolen base for Smith, and 2-2 now to Connor Jones. Kanias Davis trying to get out of the inning with only 1 run allowed. And that pitch misses, and now the count's run full.
Blue Sox are not out of this inning yet, even though there are 2 out, which would make scoring runs harder here. But still runner in scoring position to try and make it a 1-run game with a single.
The pitch, that one is smoked foul. I mean, that was a hard hit ball. Unfortunately, it just goes out to that third baseline and lands on the outside of it. So the payoff pitch. That one's also hit foul.
Connor Jones having a great at-bat, just trying to find the right pitch, and he's staying alive in the count.
Doing everything here just to put a ball in play. They try to advance Smith home from second. So for the 3rd time, here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on, fouled. We'll do it again.
Connor Jones having one of the best at-bats of the day right now in a big spot in the bottom of the 6th with a runner in scoring position.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. That one swung on, high fly ball into shallow right center, dropping back and making the catch. There is the second baseman, Devon Abaga. So that will retire to side. Utica able to put in 1 run. It's 7-5. Boonville looking to respond when we come back.
We are back for the top of the 7th inning. Drake Aycock stays on the mound, pitching in a 7-5 Boonville game alongside Killian Heffron. I'm Morgan Spriggs.
Well, Aycock came in there in the top of the 6th, and he didn't exactly inherit a very positive situation. Was able to get out of it, but 4 runs allowed for Utica in the top of the inning. But now Aycock with a clean slate. It's his first time starting an inning here in this game. See what he can do.
Aycock facing the top of the order. Lassiter, Swangam, and Marshall. First 3 hitters in this frame. Swatted to first base and caught on a line by the ranging Jacobs for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 gone.
Not the hardest hit line drive in the world, but that will only work better for Alex Jacobs as he's able to get there with some time to spare and make the catch.
Now due up and hitting now, Zeb Swangam. He's 0 for 3. Grounded out to first his last time up. Pushes it on the ground to Fernsler, who makes a nice hopping throw to Jacobs, and Fernsler has settled down now at the hot corner. That was an excellent play for Bowden for the out. So 2 pitches in the inning thrown by Aycock, 2 away. Now it is Masai Marshall. He reached base on a hit by pitch in the 6th and was ruled out after Clarkson's single hit him on the foot. So they ruled that offensive interference, and so Marshall was erased on the base paths. 2 gone in the visiting 7th. First pitch drops low for a ball, 1-0. The infield's playing back, especially Peritano and Fry, who are straddling the dirt and the grass. Submarine delivery from Aycock, and he guns in a strike. That fastball reaches the top of the zone with gusto. It's 1-1 now.
And unfortunately for Aycock, not able to get the 3 pitches, 3 outs he was looking for, but he's been looking strong in this game, and so I'm sure he's got the confidence to get out of this one with nobody on base and 2 down.
Count is 2-1. The delivery finds the zone, strike 2. Chance for a 1-2-3 workmanlike inning for Aycock. Drake is ready. He deals the pitch. Swung on and missed, struck him out. And down goes Marshall. A very brief inning for the Lumberjacks hitting. Aycock sets him down 1-2-3. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Blue Sox down 2 runs. We're back. Bottom of the 7th. Kanias Davis still on the mound for the Lumberjacks.
Right fielder, number 62,
Utica trailing
Robbie
7-5,
Carvelli.
and Robbie Carvelli bats first in the frame. Robbie 0 for 2. He has grounded out to short and popped out to first. So the right fielder eyeing his first hit of the game. This contest still well in reach of the Sox. They've led for large portions of the game, but now down by a couple of runs. First pitch, swing and a miss from Carvelli.
And it's definitely not panic time quite yet. You got plenty of game left to play. Just get one run in here, and really you don't even have to with...
Another swing and a miss on the fastball. Quickly 0-2 to Carvelli.
But really you don't even have to. It's just how this game's been. Still plenty of time left, only down by 2 runs.
2-strike pitch. That hit the knob of the bat, so a foul ball to the right side. And it's still 0-2. 7-pitch top of the inning for Drake Aycock. His first 2 pitches were recorded for outs. Another one foul. That one brushes the screen. So Aycock with a quick inning. And I'm sure for the Blue Sox, at least on their end, they want to have a long bottom of the 7th. Down 7-5. Another 0-2 pitch is blocked on the dirt by Lawrence. That's ball 1. Infield playing back. Devon Abaga throughout the entire game has been well off the infield dirt. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Down he goes. And a strikeout for Davis. 1 down. Here comes Bowden Fernsler. He's had some adventures at third base today with some errors, but less adventurous at the dish. 0 for 2. Grounded out to third base his last time up. Marcus Smith has been a vacuum over there at the hot corner.
And I think the Blue Sox have learned
First pitch called a strike, 0-1.
that you cannot hit anything on the ground to left because he will just, like you said, just vacuum all that up.
Behind on that swing, 0-2. And once again, Davis gets ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. It's back-to-back batters in the 7th. He's done that. Now throwing fast. Over to short. Swing him up and over to first. And quickly there's 2 gone.
Left fielder number 18, R.J.
But even when
Tomei.
Smith's had issues at third fielding the ball, he's been able to recover and still get the out. It's been a great day in the field for him.
Now it is R.J. Tomei. He is 0 for 1, walked his last time up. First pitch from Davis. Can't find a home in the strike zone. 1-0 on the fastball away. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Davis working fast, fires it in again. Ball 2. Most daylight of any day of the year. June 21st. And the sun still well out, though setting just a bit as we get later on into the game. Now exactly 7:30 the time. 2-ball pitch. Drops in for a strike on the breaking ball. 2-1 now. So R.J. Tomei at the plate. Alex Jacobs on deck. That pitch is hit into center field and closed on by Lewis for out number 3. 1-2-3 frame for Davis. We go to the 8th, 7-5 Boonville.
The extra hitter for the
Blue Sox making a pitching change. Vinny Sangataldo on the mound. Fourth pitcher of the game for the Sox. Sangataldo inheriting a 7-5 deficit. First pitch is a fastball for strike one.
And the key here for Sangataldo is just going to be to make quick work of these Boonville batters. Don't let Boonville extend the lead. Let your offense bring you back into this game.
Michael Clarkson tops one on a couple hops, and Paratano boots it, and that'll go down as an error. And the misplays for the Sox continue. And Sangataldo, Killeen, his last outing was when he gave up the lead against Glens Falls in that ninth inning collapse.
Yeah, here we'll take a look at some of the stats on Vinny Sangataldo. 5 innings pitched on the year, a 5.4 ERA, 1 loss credited, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed, and a whip of 1.00.
Here's RJ Lopez. He's reached base twice, once on an error, once on a single. First pitch from Sangataldo is in for strike one. 5 errors for Utica today. 5. They're all in the infield.
And unfortunately, that's not something that's unheard of for the Blue Sox this season. We've seen
It's happened before, yeah.
We've seen them have 5 error, 4 error games before.
1-1 pitch will now be coming as that ball is buried in the dirt to RJ. Marcus Smith on deck. And he's been great on the day. He's hit a home run. 1-1. Wave and a miss. 1-2. Blue Sox haven't had a 6-error game. 5 has been their most, and they certainly don't want to find out what the 6th error is. So Vinny ready, leaning into home plate, now set. Glove at the belt. Runner on at first, no out. 1-2 pitch is outside. 2-2.
Well, the longer Boonville can make Utica stay out on defense, the more desperate I think the Blue Sox are going to start feeling mentally. Even if the Lumberjacks don't put up runs, it's still going to feel to Utica like they're just waiting forever for their opportunity to hit.
Fought off and foul down the third baseline, and we'll do another 2-2.
And you have to wonder what that does to Utica on the mental side of things.
Infield back, except for Jacobs at first. Holding Clarkson. The 2-2 offering is just low ball 3. That was a close pitch from Sangataldo, but home plate umpire said the count's now full. And Lopez with a new life. 1 on, none out, top of the 8th in a 7-5 game. And the payoff pitch is bounced into right field. That's a base hit. Now first and second for the Lumberjacks with none away.
Yeah, that one took a wacky hop there. It got hit almost right in front of him into the ground, then just jumped about 30 feet into the air and ended up in the outfield.
Now here is Marcus Smith. He has homered and reached base twice on errors. He's also stolen a base. Lumberjacks have a potential 8th run in scoring position and a 9th run on base. Leading by 2. Lumberjacks want to go 2-0 at Donovan Stadium this year. In the yard of right field, Carvelli has a beat on it, racing, covering a lot of ground, and the ball drops in near the fence. And that's strike 1 on the foul. So Smith batting on deck, Bronx Lewis, who hit an RBI single his last time up back in the 6th. That plated 2 runs in the big 6th inning for the Lumberjacks. Runners get their leads. 0-1 the count. Sangataldo fires. Ball 1. A lot of sun still shining on the field. Well past 7:30. This game gets into the late stages. San Cataldo ready. Check second. 1-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Scrape the top edge of the zone. And it's 1-2 to Smith.
There's a big opportunity here for San Cataldo to get his confidence back and record the first out of the top of the eighth. And it's definitely going to mess up Boonville a little bit if all of a sudden you have one down with the runners on first and second.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Big first out for San Cataldo. And Smith is retired for the first time this evening.
Center fielder number 9, Bronx Lewis.
Now it's Bronx Lewis. 1 for 3 on the night. Clarkson at second, Lopez at first. Now one down. San Cataldo, a mission to pitch a scoreless inning. He's a third of the way there. First pitch is down low, 1-0. The baby blue clad pitcher on the mound, staring in to his adversary. 2 runners on. The 1-0 pitch is bounced up the middle and past the diving Fry for a base hit. Here comes the runner from third, and Clarkson scores. RBI single for Lewis. It is now 8-5 Boonville.
Well, it's a good piece of hitting there from Bronx Lewis. Able to just pinpoint that one into the center part of the infield. And now, all of a sudden, for Utica, now you're down by 3. And Boonville, with all the momentum, they got a runner in scoring position, only one down still.
An unearned run for San Cataldo because Clarkson reached on an error. But goes down as a run in the books for the overall score. It's 8-5. First pitch. Make that second pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-1 to Noah Reed. He is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Still first and second with 1 out. Now a 3-run game. Count is 0-1 upon correction, and that pitch bounces low. 1-1. So San Cataldo just trying to settle down and make good pitches, but he's in a tough spot.
And you have to wonder for Boonville if, in terms of their base running, if they're going to be aggressive here or if they're just going to let them only take minimal gains on the balls that get put in play, not wanting to risk any extra outs.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-2 on the breaking pitch. So a chance to get a strikeout, and therefore out number 2 in the 8th for San Cataldo. Vinny is set. Check second. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Second K of the inning for Vinny. And that brings up Abaga in a big first and second 2-out situation. Last time up, Abaga hit a single in that crucial 6th frame for Boonville. Abaga has not been retired at the plate tonight. He walked and doubled in addition to that single I just mentioned. 2 gone in the 8th. San Cataldo, first pitch, fought off foul. 0-1. Oliver Lawrence due up. But the game right now rests on San Cataldo versus Abaga. If Boonville can add on, it would put a lot of distance between them and the Blue Sox, and it would make it really hard for Utica to come back. If it stays a 3-run game, comeback is a little more likely. The 0-1 is ball 1. Curveball dropping low to home plate.
But regardless, Utica's going to have a come-from-behind performance, and we've only seen really one of those that was notable this year. That was the Mohawk Valley game on Kids Day Out, where they ended up walking that one off in the bottom of the 10th.
That's a cut and a miss, 1-2. Chance for 3 strikeouts in the inning for San Cataldo and limiting the damage to 1 run, if he can get it. Lopez and Lewis get their leads. They don't run. That fastball's in there for strike 3. And San Cataldo strikes out his 3rd batter of the 8th. But Boonville adds on. They lead 8-5, middle 8. Kenais Davis remains on the mound for Boonville. The Lumberjacks scored an 8-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th. 10-1-2, batting for the Sox. Down 3. First, it's Alex Jacobs. He's over 2 with 1 flyout and 1 ground out. So a very nice crowd here on this Sunday night on Father's Day. Beautiful day weather-wise. First pitch is up and away, ball 1. So Kenais Davis still on the mound as the Lumberjacks trying to win their 2nd game out of 2 at Donovan Stadium this year. That pitch is pushed on the ground to second base. Abaga sidearms a throw to first. 1 out. Well,
that's a great start there for Boonville. And now with Utica, the kind of metaphorical clock is starting to tick. You only got 5 outs left. You need 3 runs. And things are going to get real interesting here for Utica as we get back to the top of the order.
Sweeney lifts a first pitch foul, 0-1.
But the big thing here for the Blue Sox is that they can no longer afford to be wasting these at-bats. They have to start something here.
No balls and 1 strike. The pitch from Davis. That's hit well into left field. Make that left center. Backing up for the out is Lewis. 2 gone in the 8th. And it seems like the Blue Sox bats have really disappeared towards the later stages of this contest. See if Caden Fry can be some help to that ill. Last time up, Fry reached on an infield single and came around to score after stealing a base and advancing on a wild pitch. That first offering is blocked by Lawrence, ball 1.
Fry showing bunt there. Bit of an interesting decision at this point.
Takes that pitch all the way, 1-1. No bunt shown there.
I mean, you imagine if he made contact with that, he would have definitely had a shot getting there just because of how fast he is.
Ahead of that pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2.
But if it's a bad bunt, you just completely waste the out. Just an interesting decision there to have him show bunt on that first one, even if he wasn't going to go through with it.
Blue Sox down 8-5. 2 out, none on in the 8th. Pitch from Davis, swung on and missed. And Kenais Davis makes quick work of the Blue Sox in the 8th. We go to the 9th, 8-5, Boonville lead. Top of the 9th, Boonville leading 8-5. And Killian, it seems like the Utica Bats have been quelled in these later innings. Doesn't seem to be a trend for you and how it's gone for the season?
Yeah, I mean, Utica, they've been great in these first innings of the games, all the way usually through the 5th, but the 6th and on has been a struggle, and it's been the case today. But a bit more concerningly for Utica, 4 of those 5 runs today have come off of 2-run home runs. So it's not exactly like the Bats are working all around. It's more of just you're having Peritano just come through and hit homers. And if Peritano wasn't in this game, this would be an 8-1 affair right now.
Vinny Sangataldo remains on the hill, facing Oliver Lawrence first, followed by Lassiter and Swingham in the final inning of regulation play. And the first pitch of the inning coming from Vinny is bounced and knocked down by Fernsler. And the leadoff hitter will reach base. We'll see what they roll it at third.
Yeah, I imagine that would be an E, but we'll see. Still waiting on them to. It looks like they did end up ruling it a hit. So the hit's now up to 9 from Boonville on the day. So it shows you what I know about scoring.
It certainly was a close play. Calling it an error wouldn't be completely inaccurate. Sure, Fernsler's were relieved that that was the ruling. First pitch is in for a strike. So a hit for Lawrence to lead it off. Wyatt Lassiter, 1 for 4, singled back in the third. In that Boonville inning that gave them the lead. That's outside for a ball, 1-1. Blue Sox in a position where it looks decently likely that they'll lose their 10th game of the year and continue their struggles at home. If they can't hold off Boonville in the top of the inning and come back in the bottom half. 0-2 from Sangataldo, misses outside, ball 1. Vinny with 3 strikeouts in the 8th inning, but he did give up a run. Well, looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th and who the Blue Sox will have batting, it's the middle of the order. Smith, Wirtz, and Peritano. It's a pretty good trio if you want to come back down 3. Bounced over to Peritano, who makes the throw over to first, and that's out number 1. That was a close play down the line, but Anthony threw it over just in time, 1 away.
You talk about looking down the line for the rest of the week here. Utica, obviously they have to play Amsterdam at home, but they get Saugerties twice, and they get Boonville 1 more time this week.
Here comes Zeb Swingham. 1 on in scoring position. Oh, it's Oliver Lawrence. Moved over on the ground ball out at short. First pitch is a ball. Now, just going back to that bottom of the 9th, let's say it stays 8-5. That's critical for the Blue Sox. If it goes any further than 8-5, I think a comeback is incredibly unlikely. But let's say Sangataldo sets down 2 batters here to avoid a 9th run. See on this 1-0, that's over towards 3rd and foul. So you have Smith and Wirtz. They've both reached base on the night. And then Paratano's hit 2 home runs. So let's say they both get on base. And Anthony, if he gets another home run, as crazy that would be, all tied up. That's very possible. We see what Paratano could do tonight with 2 home runs. And then it's Connor Jones and Robbie Carvilli. This offense can make waves, but they haven't been doing that in the later innings. Let's see if Sangataldo can keep this a 3-run game. 1-1 pitch. There's a strike, 1-2. What do you think about that situation, Killian?
First and foremost, they have to get Boonville off the field. Because
100%.
If Boonville keeps rolling the way they have, it's going to be, like you said, an extremely tall order for them to make the comeback in the 9th. But like you said, if they're able to get the first 2 on base and then you get Paratano up.
In there for strike 3. Fastball caught him looking. And there's 2 down.
But it's very favorable for Utica if they were in that situation where it would be up to Paratano, who's had himself a night so far.
Here's Masai Marshall. Sangataldo needs to get him out here. Runner on at second. First pitch from the righty is swung on and missed. 0-1. After Marshall would be Clarkson, though Sangataldo does not want to get that far. Here on this Sunday night, Lumberjacks trying to go on the road and win again at Donovan Stadium. 0-1 pitch from Sangataldo. He offered. Didn't check his swing. It's 0-2. And Marshall in a hole here.
It's a big pitch here for Sangataldo. Gets him out of the inning, keeps it a 3-run game.
Can Vinny get his second strikeout of the inning and keep this a 3-run game heading into the bottom of the 9th? And can he do it on this pitch? Yes! Down goes Marshall. To the bottom of the 9th we go. 3 to tie, 4 to win. Stay with us. Last chance for the Blue Sox to snatch the win from the jaws of defeat. Smith, Wirtz, and Paratano due up. And Killian, if Xavier Smith does not set the tone and get on base here, it's going to be a tough task for the Blue Sox. He as the leadoff hitter, is so critical to this comeback.
Well, if Smith doesn't get on, that's 1 out, obviously. But it also shifts the momentum more into Boonville's favor, because if Boonville gets 1 down, and they force Utica into more of a hole with 3 runs in their pocket, they can be a lot more aggressive in their pitching approach and try to maybe jam up some of these Blue Sox batters. But it starts with Smith right here. If he gets on base, this is a whole new ball game.
Xavier Smith leads off. He walked his last time to the plate in the 6th inning. Also scored a run back in the 4th. Last shot for the Blue Sox in the home 9th, trailing Boonville 8-5. Davis trying to close it out. Fires a first pitch ball just high. That was a close pitch, but it goes to the benefit of Smith. That's a swing and a miss. That curveball dropped out fast. So the X-Man got fooled. Now 1-1 pitch. thrown all the way to the backstop. It's a wild offering from Davis, and it's 2-1 now. Davis can get on base in any way he can. If he's patient and takes a walk, if he wears one on the flesh and hit by pitch, any way you can get on. Lifts one in the air to left center field. A long run for Lewis. He's back. He reaches up, and it sails over his head. Leadoff double for the X-Man. And the Blue Sox have something cooking in the ninth.
And
that was close, Killian. Sorry, go ahead.
That's what they needed right there. Gets him into scoring position, but now you got Wirtz, Paratino, and Jones up next. Huge opportunity here for the Blue Sox. A single here would effectively tie this game as long as it's hit into the right, or not tie this game, it would make it closer.
Tighten it, yeah.
As long as it's hit into the right location. And as this game tightens, I think all of a sudden things are going to get a lot more interesting here for Boonville, as they might have a decision to make about Davis if he keeps giving up hits.
Nice. Davis on the mound right now. He's been very effective in this game, but Boonville has pitchers warming up in the pen. First pitch rolled over, foul for Ian Wirtz. Last time to the dish in the sixth, he popped out to first base in foul territory. So let's see what Ian can do with the dangerous Paratino on deck. 0-1. That is in there for strike two, and a favorable count for Davis and the Lumberjacks. Paratino waiting to hit, and if he comes up with 2 on, the guy who's hit 2 home runs has a chance to tie with another bomb. But that's looking into the future. Here in the present, it's an 0-2 pitch, and that's flicked into right field. Lassiter races back, looks up, it's gone, a home run! Ian Wirtz touches them all, and it's a 1-run game, baby!
Well, the fact that the Blue Sox are in this game in general is insane to think with the 5 errors, but that hit right there could have just turned the tide in this thing. Now you got Paratino coming up. He could tie this game. We know he's capable of hitting homers. This is the 3rd home run on the night for Utica, and a well-needed mound visit here for Boonville as the Lumberjacks all of a sudden under a ton of pressure, and what was just a nearly over game 2 pitches ago.
Well, we knew how critical the leadoff hitters were in the 9th inning for the Blue Sox. They did not want to have Paratino bat with 2 out and none on. Well, there's nobody on base now. That was because Wirtz just cleaned him off. Paratino is 2 for 2. He has gotten at least 1 RBI in every plate appearance on his night. Home run in the 2nd, home run in the 4th, sac fly in the 6th. 8-7 the score. None out, 9th inning. The pitch is low for ball 1. Just a little low on that off-speed pitch. Ball. 5 RBI for Paratino. He's had a great game. Now at 1-0. That catches his own for a strike on the fastball. The Blue Sox thinking about another comeback. It's been a long time since they've done that, especially at home. Looking for their 3rd win at Donovan Stadium. That ball's wrapped over to 3rd, scooped up, and it's muffed! And that ball rolls into left field. And so now the tying run's on base. They're gonna rule out an error.
And Morgan, I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. With how this game has been with the 5 errors, Utica should absolutely not be in this position, but by some miracle they are.
And how ironic that we've said all game how great Marcus Smith was at 3rd base, and in one of the biggest spots in the 9th, he commits the 2nd error of the game for the Lumberjacks. First pitch bunt shown, and it's strike 1. Interesting decision. I'm in favor of it because you only need a run. Connor Jones, you want to get the runner over here. So an E5 for Smith, and Paratino's on as the tying run. CJ still showing bunt, and he lays it down softly in front of the mound. Lawrence fields it, checks second, now throws to first, and that's a sac bunt for Connor Jones. He does his job, and the tying run's at 2nd base now. The drama continues.
Right here, number 62, Robbie Carvelli.
Here comes Robbie Carvelli. He's looking for his first hit of the game. What a time would it be to get on the hit column and tie up this game most likely.
And Carvelli 0 for 3 on the day, but like you said, what a time. This would be to break out of that. Record his first hit.
First pitch. Dips low for a ball. Now, Paratano's at second. Do you think stealing third, unless there's a great opening, is a good idea here, Killian?
I don't think you steal third, especially with only one down. You have that out to burn in an effort to tie this game. So there's no reason really to risk it, I would say, at this point. There's no force anywhere.
But a potential steal third, if it's successful, with still one out, means that a sac fly or sac bunt would tie. 1-0. That's in there for a strike on the Heat. So Kanias Davis in danger of blowing the game. He's already allowed 2 on a home run for Ian Wirtz. Does not want to give up 3. 1-1 pitches fouled off to the right side, and it clanks off the ceiling. 1-2.
And now all of a sudden, if the Blue Sox end up striking out here, this will put a huge amount of pressure on the Bowden Fernsler, who has the opportunity to make up for his mistakes earlier on.
1-2 pitch is a ground ball towards shortstop. Throw towards first base is in time for out number 2, and the Sox are down to their final out. And batting is Bowden Fernsler.
Third baseman, number 8.
If there were ever an opportunity to make up for the mistakes he's had in this game, it would be right here. 0 for 3 on the day, but why not at this point?
Bowden Fernsler batting, hasn't gotten a hit tonight. Has not had a spotless day in the infield with 3 errors. But here's his opportunity to atone. Anthony Paratano is on base at second. He was bunted over by Connor Jones, and after the ground ball out for Carvelli, it is up to Fernsler to tie this game or extend it if he gets on base another way. Otherwise, Boonville wins. First pitch is low for ball 1.
Now, if you're Davis here, do you look to try to jam him up? Do you look to try to go to pitch around the zone? I don't know really what the approach would be here for Davis. There's a lot of ways he could go.
There is a strike, 1-1. Just dropped in towards the lower half of the zone, and the count is now even. Paratano is the important runner at second base, the tying runner. The 1-1 is swatted into right center field. A long run for Lewis. He leaps up, and he makes the catch to rob him and end the game, and Boonville wins it. Oh, my. Brox Lewis takes away the game-tying hit for Bowden Fernsler, and the Lumberjacks break Blue Sox hearts tonight, winning 8-7.
Well, you talk about a great job tracking that ball down. From the very moment of contact, he was moving and settled right under it, was moving the whole time. So I guess he didn't really settle, but was able to reach out and grab that ball out of the air. And instead of this game going to extras or potentially even ending in a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth, Boonville is able to hold on, and they steal this one away.
What a game. Boonville now 2-0 at Donovan Stadium this season so far. That'll do it for this broadcast. We'll be right back here in these same seats at Donovan Stadium as the Sox take on Socrates tomorrow night at 6:45. For producer Louis Leibowitz, my partner Killian Efron, I'm Morgan Spriggs. Wishing you a great rest to your Father's Day. Thank you to all the dads out there, especially mine. And
mine as well.
And Killian's as well. All the dads out there, thank you. And thanks so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow as the Blue Sox look to get back in the win column. Thank you so much for listening.